You know,
Who was that? Somebody sound far away. Who talking to you? They sound far away.
Yeah, brother Muko. I think it's Muko trying to say something, but he might be in the matrix.
Yeah. Brother Muko, he be in the matrix a lot. I think he work a lot.
Yeah, I do. I'm working all the time, non-stop. Can y'all hear me better now?
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit better. I just want to let everybody know we live on YouTube too. We live on YouTube, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I will watch my language as I always try to do. Yeah, so I think what was happening was a lot of misunderstanding last night. And because we take this so personally, you know, which we should, a lot of feathers were ruffled last night. I understood exactly where Mark was coming from. All he was saying was we can't forget the collaborators as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm always saying that, but I'm always talking about using direct terms, you know, codified terms, counter-racist terms, so that things like last night wouldn't happen. Everybody was upset. Mark really wasn't talking about Rella or no taxation. He was talking about collaborators and flunkies. You know what I'm saying? But he was calling them what they are. You know, white Zionist Jews and the other so-called black collaborators of white supremacy. But, you know, he was just saying, stop saying just white supremacy. I don't argue with Mark. You know, he feels how he feels because he has that BGQ. He's a victim just like me. So if he doesn't agree with me saying victims of racism, white supremacy, or white supremacists, it's not my job to get angry with my fellow victim. No, because he has the right to view his victimization any way that he wants. You know what I'm saying? This is why we have BGQ in place to eliminate arguing between each other or even getting attitudes with each other. So with that being said, I understood exactly what Mark was saying, but it was a triggering moment. I can see how Rella probably took it personal. No taxation took it personal, and
it really was trouble at first. I think with trouble and with trouble, like you said, I don't think it was directed at you know in particular. But Trouble made a remark. Trouble said that, you know, and what Trouble was saying was true as well too. He's like, you know, it's both sides. Like we just can't sit it and like, you know, Mark was talking about like the Democrats and stuff like that. And all Trouble was saying was like, hey, you know, where I live at, it's a red area, it's a red state, it's a red city, whatever. It's both sides of these people that's been playing games and stuff like that. So that's kind of where she was saying that, you know, both sides have taken advantage with the with treating black people like crap and this and stuff like that as well too. So that's all she was saying, and it kind of from there on, it kind of just, you know, went sideways. So
look, check this out, news. Like Brother Monko said, he was right. Mark Carter has the absolute right to feel how he does, but guess who else has the right to feel how they do? Everybody else. Don't tell me not to say white supremacy. If you have the right to say what you want, knock yourself out. I have the right to say it too. So you can't in one hand say, well, you got one, but when somebody else has a different ideology, you can't be critical. You have to be consistent. If you have the right to feel like you want, I have the right to feel like I want.
Real talk.
I agree with that as well. And you know, unfortunately, brother, all victims don't practice being codified and saint. You know, and you are absolutely right.
Hey, real quick, fellas, real quick. We'll come back to that because I wanna go ahead and start on this new topic. I want to because we on YouTube, we live, so I know people just probably chiming in, not knowing what we're talking about. We were talking about the broadcast from yesterday about the mass reparation plan, that deportation plan that Trump was talking about that he has. That conversation led to, you know, some heated moments last night, but without going really back all the way into that, because DJ had a space on it as well too, and I want to talk about tonight's topic as well. And like I said, we can get back to the other one as well too, but I want to go ahead and discuss tonight's topic about black men. Are they become endangered species at HBCU campuses? I've been seeing a lot of stuff lately going on, and you had a lot of articles from Black websites, Black news sites talking about the declining enrollment of Black men on a lot of these major HBCU campuses. So I felt that would be a good discussion to have tonight. And hopefully we got a number of Black men up in here as well too. Hopefully our sister Tony, she can hit us up in the comment section and let us know how she feels as well too, because I believe she graduated from an HBCU. But I wanted to go ahead and I want to touch up on that as well. I want to give a shout out to my girl Stephanie, because as soon as the space started, she went ahead and Cash App. So shout out to you, sis, as always. Respect that and love that as always. So let me give a shout out to that sister. But I want to go ahead real quick, guys, and I don't want y'all to leave. The discussion tonight is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be heated like last night, but I think it's an important discussion to have. Before I go ahead, this article that I'm going to read tonight, this is from, it was about a week. I guess it came out maybe a few back in August. It's from the American Institute for Boys and Men. It's titled HBCUs at Crossroads Addressing the Decline in Black Male Enrollment. And before I start, I just want to go ahead and take a summary of what this is going to be. It says Black men account for only 26% of the students at historically Black colleges and universities, down from 38% in 1976. In fact, there are fewer Black men enrolled at HBCUs today than in 1976. HBCUs have long served as valuable institutions for Black students, offering a unique environment that fosters academic achievement, mental well-being, and economic mobility. More non-Black students offset these declines, but the reduced presence of Black men means fewer are benefiting from the supportive environments that HBCUs provide to help students succeed during and after college. Here are some key takeaways. This is before I just go ahead and get into the actual article. It says enrollment of Black male students at HBCUs is currently below 1976 levels and declining more rapidly in other colleges and universities. Here's one that's really, really big. The share of non-Black students at HBCUs is now equal to the share of Black male students at 26% and 25% respectively. So at these HBCUs now, you got as many non-Black students out there as you have as Black males that's enrolled on campus. HBCUs enroll a high proportion of lower income students compared to non-HBCUs, and these students are nearly twice as likely to experience upward mobility. This decline in Black male students is influenced by factors such as inadequate K-12 preparation, a lack of Black male teachers, financial barriers both individually and institutionally. Addressing these issues through targeted interventions and expanded. So I couldn't get all of that on there. So I want to just go ahead and cover that real quick. Just let you guys know what this is going to be about. Just the summary of this thing real quick. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dig in as well too. Shout out to all y'all in here. Y'all make sure y'all retweet this space out. And I want to hear what you guys got to say, because right now we're looking. What's up, Avenge Your Ancestors? Right now we're looking at that Black male enrollment on these actual students at these actual universities. The HBCUs are less than the non-Black people that's there. Let me give an introduction. Historically, Black colleges and universities were established before the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to provide educational opportunities for Black Americans who were largely excluded from other institutions. HBCUs are still regarded as hubs for Black excellence and safe havens for Black students, but they have not been immune to the broader trend of declining enrollment among Black men in absolute numbers. There are fewer Black men enrolled at HBCUs than in the mid-1970s. HBCUs have experienced an overall enrollment decline of 11% since 2010, consistent with trends seen across all colleges and universities. The decline in Black male enrollment is more pronounced, however, with a 25% decrease at HBCUs and a 22% decline across all institutions. While the percentage drop at HBCUs is only slightly greater than elsewhere, the impact is much greater on HBCU campuses since Black male students make up a much larger share of the student body. In recent years, there have been some more hopeful signs after significant declines in male enrollment in 2019 and 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic. HBCUs experienced an increase in applications and enrollments in 2020 through 2022 following the murder of George Floyd and in the COVID recovery. Enrollment among Black men has increased since 2020, outpacing other groups, although the total number of Black men still remains below pre-COVID levels. The question for HBCUs is whether these recent trends continue or whether enrollment reverts to previous patterns. Data and definition. Through this brief, we use data integrated post-secondary education data. When we refer to Black students, they are students who have indicated they are not Hispanic, Black, or African American only. This classification is based on IPEDS reporting standard, which categorizes students based on how they self-identify, their race and ethnicity, and is aligned with the common practices. These practices yield mutually exclusive racial categories, and they may result in a slight undercount of students who may consider themselves Black but fall outside the IPEDS classification using our analysis. Conversely, non-Black is precisely defined as any student who does not identify as Black or African American. So just want to go ahead and put that in there. As many non-Black students as Black male students, the enrollment of Black men and Black women at HBCUs has declined since 2010, but there's a steady increase in the enrollment of non-Black students. This is not by accident. It is one of several responses by HBCUs to address Black enrollment declines and funding challenges. The share of non-Black students at HBCUs has increased to 24% compared to 15% in 1976. Since 2010, there have been significant increases in the share of Hispanic and multiracial students, while the share of white students has slightly decreased and the share of Asian students has remained steady. Part of this increase may be due to changing practices around racial identification. For example, the general increase in multiracial identities. However, the increase in the share of non-Black students at HBCUs has not resulted in a decline in the share of Black women on campus, who continue to account for around half the student body. Instead, the share of Black men at HBCUs has dropped sharply to 26%, down from 31% in 2005 and 38% in 1976. The share of non-Black students, 25%, now matches that of Black men, 26%. There's also considerable variation among HBCUs, including some bright spots. Among the top 20 largest HBCU campuses, with a combined average total fall enrollment of 7,972, the share of Black men ranges from 4% at St. Philip's College, also a Hispanic serving institution, to 33% at Alabama A&M University. Morgan State University and Tennessee State University represent the median of the largest schools with 26% Black male enrollment. North Carolina A&T, the largest HBCU, has slightly higher Black male share at 29%, while Howard University, the second largest, has Black male share of just 19%. Only 20 of 101 HBCUs, including single-sex institutions, have Black male enrollment share of 40% or higher, with the exception of South Carolina State University. These are 20 small private schools, typically with less than 1,000 students. I see DJ's trying to come up here, so let's go. Let me go ahead and make him a co-host. HBCUs can uniquely support Black students. The significance of HBCUs extends beyond the historical role in providing access to education. HBCUs are uniquely positioned to address the specific needs of Black students, offering an environment that not only supports academic achievement, but also promotes mental health, social mobility, and economic empowerment. Moko, I'm going to get to you once I finish reading. Studies suggest that Black students are more likely to graduate at HBCUs. HBCUs also play an important role in the graduate school pathway. HBCUs account for just 13% of four-year degrees awarded to Black students, but HBCU graduates account for nearly 50% of Black doctoral recipients in agriculture science, 31% in mathematics, 23% in science and engineering, and 21% in psychology. HBCUs have produced more Black applicants in medical schools than non-HBCUs, and they are responsible for educating 40% of Black engineers and 50% of Black lawyers. Black HBCU graduates are also more likely to report having a better experience in college, receiving more support, and having greater social capital. HBCUs enroll more lower-income students than non-HBCUs, and these students are more likely to experience upward mobility. Students from HBCUs have upward mobility rates, i.e. moving from bottom to the top of income distribution, about twice as those from U.S. colleges and universities. In addition, over half of HBCU students experience at least some upward economic mobility, up at least one income, at a rate which is about 50% higher than all U.S. colleges and universities. Black students who attend HBCUs have a higher level of self-esteem, report fewer depressive symptoms, compared to those attending non-HBCUs, according to some research. This may be attributed to stronger sense of belonging and cultural affirmation that Black students often experience at HBCUs. These may, in turn, contribute to enhanced latter academic achievement, social capital, and post-graduation success. It's not all good news, of course. There's some evidence that wages for HBCU graduates have risen more slowly than Black students at other institutions. Students attending HBCUs also accumulate more college tuition debt and have lower rates of repayment. These trends point to potential areas where HBCUs may benefit from more support, especially in terms of funding. Pathway problem. Black boys often receive inadequate preparation through K through 12 due to economic and social disparities that impact many Black communities and their school systems, leading to significant barriers to college readiness. Lack of representation. The scarcity of Black male teachers means Black boys may not view academic success as attainable or relevant to them, further discouraging their pursuit of higher education. Belief gap. Non-Black teachers frequently have lower expectations for Black students, negatively impacting their academic performance and aspirations. Financial barriers. Black adults without degrees are more likely to cite personal finances and financial aid as critical factors in enrolling or remaining enrolled in college. Without adequate financial support, many young Black men are opting out of college and choosing to enter the workforce and secure income. Underfunding. HBCUs have historically faced underfunding, which limits their ability to provide the financial aid and resources needed to attract and support Black male students. Increased awareness of their need for support in recent years have led to a rise in contributions to HBCUs, helping to bolster the recent surge in enrollment. However, much more work remains to be done to sustain and build on this momentum and ensure that Black men reap some of the benefits. Targeted interventions in K-12 education in Black communities, increasing the representation of Black male teachers, expanding funding opportunities for HBCUs and their potential students could all help increase Black male enrollment. Reforms in these critical areas could help HBCUs realize their full potential in supporting the educational and economic advancement of Black men. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna hold you. Moku, I see you you requested to speak. DJ, I sent you the co-host, so whenever you get a chance, you can get that. But shout out to everybody up in here. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and retweet the space out. I see Pressure, you must have fell down. I'm gonna get you back up here as well, too. So go ahead, Moku. You got it. Shout out to everybody up in the space, too.
Can you hear me, Newstoter, or do I have to come off this Bluetooth?
I can, if you could come off the Bluetooth, because you're a little shaky. If you could come off the Bluetooth, that would help.
Okay, how about now?
That sounds better.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna say this. I think I've always had an issue with this. I cringe every time I hear HBCU. I held the space. Me and DJ held the late night space. Dr. No was in there, and Dr. No said something that was profound that I keep repeating, and I will keep repeating until I die. The victims of racism, white supremacy. Hello? Somebody got the mic off? Okay, no, that was just me.
Oh, that's me, Moku. I'm sorry. I got my bad. Go ahead.
Okay. According to the evidence, the victims of racism, white supremacy have a real serious issue with lying. We lie too much. We repeat lies too much without research. And then sometimes when we find out this shit is a lie, when we find out some things are a lie, we keep riding on the lie. And one of these lies that we really, because our words are power, and every time we lie, knowingly and unknowingly, we weaken our words of power. So what words of power is when you want something done, speaking it into existence, that has to do everything with the power of your words. If you tell the truth and practice telling the truth a lot, the power of your words will be strong. But if you constantly lie, knowingly or unknowingly, that's the most important part. Unknowingly, you weaken the power of your words. So when you want something like reparations to come through, specifically for Black victims of racism, white supremacy, guess what won't happen if you keep lying? Reparations. All right, and the reason why this is a lie, is no such thing as a HBCU. We have to be really truthfully honest with ourselves. This is these are colleges that were created for victims of rape. Okay, these are products of rape that these schools were made for. Annie Mae Williams, Storm Thurmond's black daughter, that he raped her mother. Thomas Jefferson, all these rapists created these colleges for their half-breed babies that they got from rape. We have to be honest with this in order for any repair to be done or for this situation to change. I am proud of the lack of black men that are on these campuses, because if you think about it, if you really think about it, it's an insult. It's an insult to every ancestor you have when you go to a college that was created for products of rape. I'll land there.
All right. Let me give a shout out real quick to my people over there on YouTube. I see Abdul over there, Avenge the Ancestor. Shout out to you, Avenge, and thank you for the super sticker as well too. And shout out to Junus as well too. Thank you for the contribution on Cash App. I'm gonna let Black Pressure go ahead, and then I want to get some of our other people, because I want to say something too about that as well too. So go ahead, Pressure, and then I'm a follow up. And DJ, I gave you the co-host invite, so when you get a chance, follow through or whatever. Y'all make sure y'all retweet this space out. I definitely want to get. What's that? Oh, I see him up here now. Okay. Hey, I don't know what's up with my damn eyes. I got to go to the damn doctor, man, because I wear glasses for like distance, and I'm reading.
No, you're 44, dog. It's gonna happen.
Jesus, boy, I'm like becoming blind as a bat around here. But go ahead, Pressure.
That's me. I'm the leader.
Yeah.
All right, so News, I'm gonna give it my best shot to try to answer the question. I think I can come close. I might not knock it out the park, but I think I can come close. So I'm gonna try to make it quick as possible. I'm gonna give you 3 examples. All right. So first, I'm gonna use myself. Right. So this was 2018, and of course, I work in oil and gas. I had just started to operate cranes. I just was in a hydraulic crane at the time. So I had a total I was at work. Total stranger came, knocked on my door. Never saw the dude in my life. He came and knocked on my window, and he introduced himself. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, hey, how can I help you, brother? There's another black dude. He said, hey, man, can I ask you a question? I said, sure, brother. Another black man. I said, sure, what you got? And they're like, take it. This is a total stranger. Never saw this dude in my life. He said, hey, my name is Nick. I said, okay. He said, I work in the front offices. I'm an engineer. He was a mechanical engineer. And I'm like, okay. And in my mind, I'm like, why are we talking? Why are we having a conversation? He said, yeah, man, we were talking a couple of days ago at lunch, me and everybody I work with. And he said, man, we heard how much you guys make. So I looked at him and I was like, yeah. I was trying to play dumb a little bit. I was like, yeah. He said, yeah. He said, hey. He said, he said, I got my degree in mechanical engineering. He said, I'm going to be honest. He said, I make $95,000 a year salary, which that's excellent money. On salary, or rain, sleet, or snow, that's what you're gonna make. I said, cool. He said, but man, we heard how much you guys make. You know what, that brother, this dude, not taking those. I'm a 2-time college dropout. I don't have a college degree, right? This dude say, hey, you think you can teach me how to operate this hydraulic crane? And I was like, yeah. I was like, it'd be hard. You'd have to, leave work, during the day and come work with me. But I said, I don't have no problem with showing you. But long story short, I was making $125 a year at that time with no degree. So he was making $95,000. So I had $30,000 on him with no degree, right? So I moved to my next story. I have a cousin who graduated from University of Houston. He has a master's degree in computer science, right? I think he graduated in 2009. he told me this out his own mouth. He was like, man, for like 18 months, a year and a half, he said, I couldn't find a job. He said, I was doing my resumes, I had a master's degree from U of H. He said he would go in and have these interviews, and he would try to, kind of crowbar. It's like, yeah, man, I'm master's degree from University of Houston in computer science. He told me straight out his mouth. He said, man, the white people did not care anything about his degree. He said, once you get like to the tech world, everything is task specific. They want to know, do you know how to do this job specifically? Do you know cybersecurity? Do you know programming? A+, C+, Python. They didn't care anything about his degree. They wanted to know, did he know specific tasks when it came, in cybersecurity. So I'm gonna move on. My last example right here. This was 2 days ago. I was talking to this white guy at my job, and he's quitting the last day of this month. He said, I'm gonna quit, and he said, I'll come back in January. He said, I'm gonna come back with another company. I say, man, why you quit? Now this dude is a lattice crane operator, like the guys you see that build skyscrapers. He told me, he said, yeah, man. He said, I usually take November and December off every year. He said, I already made $173,000. And he said, I just take November and December off to, spend with my family. So I went the long way to say that maybe, I might not be dead on, but maybe you see the lack of black men in HBCUs. You can literally go to tech school or trade school and outpay somebody that has a degree by thousands of dollars. That may be where you see the decline. Oh, we just thought about this on one more story. Got a best friend named Jay. He has an MBA from Prairie View University, right? He said when he got out, they had him like an assistant manager at some Walmart in Houston. He said he hated that shit. He hated it. He was just in the office all day crunching numbers and all this. He said like 4 years later, he went to school to be an electrician, and he stuck with that. Today, he's a master electrician, right? He's a supervisor at this big time, this industrial electrical place that works in and out of plants. So he's a supervisor. This dude makes $12,000 every 2 weeks, and it has nothing to do with his degree. He went to a trade school and learned how to be an electrician. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. Even myself in this example, I make over $135 a year, and the way I was able to make that money was I learned a skill. It was a trade. So maybe that's it. I don't know, but I'll mute up at least.
Damn, y'all making some serious cheese there. So we may need to hold a space. We have to do like our Jason Black. He getting the people up in the driving the trucks and stuff like that. Press, we may need to see for those who may want to come out there. If there's any opportunities out there in Texas, maybe holding a space or something for some of our younger black men and stuff.
If you want a job, I get you in. If you want to make 6 figures a year, let me know. I'll get you in the door.
Yeah, we may have to because I'm like you say, I'm too old for that now. But some of these younger fellas in their 20s and 30s and stuff like that, hey, that'll be a great that'll be. And then we got black majority state here as well too. So black is school people on the truck driving. So yeah, we may have to hold a business space as well too, and try to get some of our people get them up. Tech, I know Tech does some stuff as well too. So yeah, we need to go ahead and try to secure the future for our young men and women as well too. So definitely shout out. I'm gonna say this right here, Moku. I know you made some points about the HBCUs and the way some of them were founded. I will say this right here. There's over 100 and some odd HBCUs, Moku. So I can't say that all of them were founded the same exact way. Now we look at the HBCUs today and we look at how they run. And of course, we always know even the history behind a lot of them, how they were controlled and manipulated and things of that nature as well, too. But the HBCUs have served purposes now. They're not serving the purpose they once did. The thing is, how can we get control of these HBCUs again and make them work for black people? This is a scary thing right here. When just as many non-black people are at these HBCUs as black men, that's pretty scary. And then if we break down the black men, I like to know how many of those black men are actually Black Americans as well too, descendants of chattel slavery as well too. So that's something that this article didn't break down exactly as much, because for all we know, it's talking about 20%, 26% or whatever. Well, let's say out of that 26%, that maybe 15% of them are Black American men or something like that. So we have to, the numbers need to be crunched even more. But I think that we do need to go ahead and get a hold of these universities and stuff like that. The one thing that we want to do is try to limit the debt for some of these young people coming out, graduating and everything else like that. But I don't think we should just go ahead and throw them completely away. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and equity that went into building these HBCUs up. And I know people say, well, only a handful of them were actually created by Black people as well. And I'm not denying that. But even the ones that, let's say, that weren't created by Black people, let's be for real. We know who was the actual the heart and soul of these institutions as well too. So I don't know, man. I think that we need to go ahead. Impression made a great point that some of these Black men, some of them say, hey, you know what? A lot of these Black men, like he said, they're getting trades and skills. I think one of my little cousins went ahead and got into AC repair and doing well for themselves and whatnot as well too. And I think his brother's going to follow suit as well too. So you got people taking up trades, and then you also got a number of Black men. Because let's be for real, in this century here, I think you're going to see this is going to be the age of the Black entrepreneur as well too. So I think that's also that's going to play a part in knocking down the numbers as well too. Men tend to gravitate towards to entrepreneurship maybe slightly more than women. I'm not entirely sure. So ladies, don't get upset with me. I could be wrong, but it always seems like historically men, whether it's car detailing or just some little anything, a man comes up with a little hustle or whatever and turns it into a business or something like that. So that could also play a part in a role as well too. But I don't want to totally give up on these HBCUs. They have we have had a number of Black leaders come through. We have had a number of whether Black men, Black women have gotten educated as well too. So, and let's not also forget the funding money, government money, state money, federal money is being diverted to these universities. Say, hey, you know what? You guys need to open it up. You guys need. You want to see more diversity. Like y'all want diversity at these major white universities. Well, guess what? We're gonna give you X amount of dollars to go ahead and whiten up these HBCUs, to add more Latinos, to add more Asians and everything else as well too. So they're being paid money as well too to go ahead, and they've always been paid money to go ahead and lighten these things up as much as possible too. So I think that also plays a role in it as well too. So shout out to everybody coming up here. Y'all make sure y'all retweet the space out as well too. But Professor, go ahead, and then I want to hear what Moko's got to say as well too.
Yeah, thank you, there, Total. And shout out to everybody in space tonight, to the family right here. Got brother Black Majority right there, Tech Son of Black Pressure up in here. Stephanie, sister Stephanie right there, my one love sister right there. Goddess Michelle, Tony. Shout out to everybody in the space tonight. So I just want to second what Brother Black Pressure said, man. A lot of Black men, I think, now are going in a different direction. Because if you can get a trade or get some type of skill Total, it's probably in your best interest, because you go ahead and get that skill set and then go right on out there in the market, get your money. Because one of the things that I saw going into a college is that they have you going through all these classes, but they're not really preparing you the way they ought to for the job market. Whereas everybody else that's going here and going to a trade school or going out and getting a skill somewhere at a 2-year college or whatever, they are already prepared, and they're going to be soon hitting that market, making their money. Okay? And the other thing about HBCUs and colleges in general is you're building up debt. See, that's the other thing too, all of this too, Total. So what Black Pressure is saying is very true. You just building debt now going into these universities and these colleges.
Hey, Professor, let me jump in on you for 10 seconds.
Okay.
Good you brought that point up. My cousin that got his master's degree from U of H in computer science, $68,000 in debt. I'll mute up and listen.
And that is right there. And remember, that's one of the things that they've been talking about, Joe Biden and Harris, right, when they was running this election campaign, their first election campaign in 2020, about trying to clean up the debt, right, the student loan debt, because it is big time, man. It's $1 trillion debt out there from all these student loans, okay? And, of course, they always bring up the fact that black women are the ones that's going to college the most, right? And guess what? They are the ones that's also the most in debt. So that's something that I think a lot of people have thought about with these colleges, man. Why go there, get all this debt, and I'm going to be having to pay for a long time? So, hey, let me just get around all of that, go ahead and get this skill from a trade school, and I come out better. So I think that's what it's coming down to, Toto, man. But let me say this. I'm not dismissing the historical significance of HBCUs because they are relevant in our lives. But we also know, just like the predominantly white institutions, they are about business. And that means they want your money. Okay? They want your money, and you'll be in debt, too, by the time you come up out of there. So I'm going to land right there.
All right. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Let me read a comment real quick. Nightfall says it's been uncovered that most colleges, universities don't even want black men because most of the curriculum is based around teaching black women for their comfort. He says, not to mention that most college degrees don't prepare you for the modern job market. Now, let me ask you a question real quick, Nightfall. And Nightfall is on YouTube. Are you saying that most of these colleges feel more comfortable, be it black colleges or white colleges, feel more comfortable teaching black women because they feel unsafe around black men? Or you're just saying that? I mean, I'm not entirely sure. So if you could clarify that for me. Okay, she said yes. So I guess you're saying that they feel safer around women than they do actual black men, which is true. They feel safer. They feel less threatened by women in general, black women, than they do black men. They always, with a black man, they always assume that you're gonna go upside their head or something. So let me go ahead and get to Moku. Yeah, I want to hear what you got to say, Moku, because I know you were talking about the creation of some of these HBCUs and you were talking about the origin of some of them and how they came about. But like I say, it's a big number of them. Like, so there's different origins for everyone as well too. So let me get your feeling on that, Moku.
I'm glad you brought that up because me and Giselle and DJ did extensive research on this, and you're right. About I think 30 HBCUs or something like that, and it was a very low number that was created by black people. It was in the single digits. They didn't even make the teens. They didn't even make 10. Okay, and then out of those two, it had a heavy dealing with the church backing them or putting money into creating those what we call HBCUs. So I say this to say this. We all know that white supremacy was a 500-year plus plan. Okay, I'm just saying, by looking at everything with non-biased eyes and not getting into my feelings, I would suggest that these HBCUs, and I got my quotation fingers up, are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, giving us a false education, which is why when we graduate, we can't even find money to pay for what we went to college for. We can't even pay the loan off. You know what I'm saying? So that's telling you right there that the education must not be so much so-called valuable if you can't even get a job in the field. So with that being said, we, again, and I will never sway on this point. We need to be more honest with ourselves, but more importantly with our children. Stop lying and saying these are HBCUs. Nothing is historically black about these things. Not the purpose of, and look, dig up Strom Thurmond. I wish we could dig them up and ask them. Because look, it was Strom Thurmond who created some of these colleges, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying, university, you know what I'm saying, and others of his ilk were creating these colleges because they were raping black women. And the babies, they didn't want no responsibility, but you know what? Their fellow government men that stepped in, well, look, we don't agree with y'all. Making these half N-word, for the space sake, I don't mind saying, but we don't have no time for y'all making these half Negro babies that y'all got to do something about. I mean, really, people need to really research the history without being biased, and we have to stop lying. You know what I'm saying? These are not historically black colleges. These are historically rape institutions. That's what they are. And they're not fulfilling and not doing the purpose because that's not what they were created for. They were created to keep us where they want us, in a slave-like mentality. Remember, this is a white supremacist education. Not no liberating, not no reparations education. We're getting a white supremacist education, and then we're fighting for it. I mean, if that's not a mental impairment, I don't know what is. I'll land that.
Okay, well, let me ask you real quick, Moku. What's the in terms of what's the alternative in your opinion in terms of having institutions of higher learning for Black people? What do you propose?
I propose that we get our minds together and start our own trade schools, plumbing. I do HVAC, plumbing, and electric, all three. And I sell oils. We got to get into multitasking, but we have to take control of the situation. I know it's going to be hard. I never said it was going to be easy. And matter of fact, don't even look for none of it to be easy. We have to educate our own children, period. You know what I'm saying? And we're in the age of information. So information is right at the tip of your fingertips. I mean, I can YouTube. I just YouTube yesterday how to fix my 2017 Volvo. I did it myself. I don't need no mechanic. I am the mechanic. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to stop playing around with this 500-year plan, playing around with these white supremacists and their education and all of their race classification, racism that they practice on us. And we need to start thinking and stop being scared to take control. We need to take control. We always talking about reparations, talk about being in control of resources and doing this and that. But Black Majority State makes this point all the time. If all the white people and all the white supremacists die today, will we actually know how to run a city? Will we know how to run the gas and electric? Will we know about the water pressures and gauges that the city is supposed to maintain at night and daytime? Will we know those things? Will we know how to filtrate the water? Okay, filtrate the nitrous out the water. That's animal urine, so we won't get sick from that. Lower the alkaline in the water. Real easy things to do, but we have no idea of it. You know why? Because we are looking and searching to be somebody's worker, somebody's employee, instead of taking the time and learning these things. It is easy. I know all about water filtration. I can tell you how much lead and how much acid and how much alkaline you got in your water. And it took me not even a year to learn it. A whole trade. So we got the answers. We are an intelligent people, but we are flawed. We are damaged. Okay? And that's not because we're dumb enough like that. No, white supremacy has done this to us. So we need to come up out of it. And my answer to you, Newstoter, is start our own schools. And this starts by 2-3 people in one house. Okay? I'm a plumber. Hey, bring your boys around my house. 10 of them. And I'm going to teach them how to do plumbing. And at the end of 5 months, they're a plumber. They know anything about plumbing. They can go do any plumbing in the building, in a house, or in a school or office or whatever. That's taking control of the resource of education, that is. But that's my answer to it without being all long. Thanks for letting me speak, Toad.
All right, no problem, Moku. I see we got Harriet Tubman's pistol. What's going on? It's been a hot minute, Harriet. How you doing?
Peace, power, reparations. How you doing, family?
Doing good.
Yes, I just wanted to come up in here and say that there's just a lot of outlets these days. These Gen Zers, like, they see what happened to the millennials and previous generations concerning college debt, and they like hell to the no. They don't want to get to college debt. And you got outlets like Coursera and Udemy where you can get certifications for AWS. Microsoft has their own college type courses where you can get certifications through them. Google, they don't even require college degrees no more. So you got to think the value of a college degree has went down. And again, like more people is coming up here and saying the trades, you could spend 2 years to get a apprenticeship with the trades and be making more than somebody with a 4-year college degree. So I think it's just more of the times are changing, and also businesses are changing with the times. I believe that's how it's going.
All right.
Also, one last thing, everything that they're saying up here is right. They're not even teaching our children or our youth their histories, their proper history in these quote unquote HBCUs. A lot of us have learned more about our history on Twitter we have in these HBCUs, and that's just facts, because we be on here every day talking about our history or what have you. So I really just believe it's a changing of the guard.
Real talk. Now, and you're really hitting on something right there. If some of this stuff, because we have to remember too, I will say this, and you're correct. The actual curriculum, we know who's actually preparing the curriculum. If you were to start having some of the stuff that, let's say some of the stuff that you even see on Hidden Colors was in some of these college campuses and stuff like that, you know, they may actually cut out funding to some of these universities if you put some of that stuff up there. So you have to be honest and be real. I'm in Florida, and we have a number of HBCUs. Of course, the largest one is FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, followed by that. But we have Edward Waters, we have Florida Memorial. I believe we may have 1 or 2 more others as well too. I can't remember. So, you know, that does make sense. I will say this right here. So far, a number of the black men that have come up here, you know, nobody really seems to have an issue with the actual number of black men numbers, you know, kind of declining at the HBCUs. Moku made some good points. Pressure made some good points. Harry, you just made some good points. Professor, all you guys, we heard everything from more opportunities to getting trades and skills to, you know, people not wanting to incur the amount of debt that previous generations have incurred. I think we've heard stats before that we talk about that, you know, black women are among some of the most educated in the country, yet at the same time they have this high student debt loan issues and stuff like that as well too. So, you know, that's something else that, you know, that you have to look at. That, hey, yeah, you know, I'm going to school to get out of school and make $45,000 a year, yet I owe $65,000 a year. You know, so that's something else as well too. But I want to know if there's anybody in here that has an issue and say, you know what, I do feel like black men are becoming endangered species at these HBCUs. I do feel like we're being passed up. I do feel like we need to claim this because I know Moku he gives the origin of a lot of them as well too. But a number of our people feel like these HBCUs are part of their heritage, part of their culture, that you have generations of black families have gone to HBCUs, graduated, you know, as well too. Of course, I'm not even going to talk about the fraternities and sororities and stuff like that, but you have a number of people that do have allegiance to these HBCUs and feel like, hey, you know, this is an important part of Black American culture as well too. So, you know, I want to hear what other people got to say. And I got my man DJ up here. DJ, what's going on? DJ, you in the space? I know you got your hand up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second.
Shout out to everybody in the space, guys. Make sure y'all tweet the space out as well too. Shout out to Tech, Black Majority State, Rella, Daughter Zion, Mr. Finn, the company, Miss Stephanie, Goddess, Callie Love, all you guys. I want to hear what you guys got to say as well too. And hopefully we can get some of y'all up here because, like I say, I'm hearing the fellas right now. And of course, you know, the title is about black men as well too. But I want to hear what some of the ladies may have to say about this as well too, because a lot of you guys have family members, be it a father, a brother, a uncle, a cousin, hell, even a next door neighbor, somebody from the neighborhood or something. Everybody in here knows somebody that either went to HBCU or graduated from HBCU or related to somebody from HBCU. So I want to hear what you guys think about this as well too, and the actual power structure. Are HBCUs obsolete for black men in 2024? Have we grown beyond that? Do we need to not even worry about that? Should we also try to worry about getting black women out of HBCUs as well too? So I want to hear what you guys got to say. DJ, go ahead. You got it.
You know, what type of black women out there? You gotta get the black women out the HBCU. No, man. Shout out to the late night space last night. That was crazy. Real talk. Excuse me. But I'll say this for the sake of, since everyone's talking education. First off, you know we got to pay some bills around here. Newstoter, NEWSTOTER.com. Make sure you come up, /customer.com/customer. Make sure you come up. Get a subscription, family. Get a subscription. We don't need to go to no school. Like Moko said, we can just build our own thing. So, Harry, I'll give you a little bit of pushback. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new under the sun. People still doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I just think we need to find whatever it is type of trade, like we're talking now, and tell your kids to go do that. Because what is the purpose of going to school when we already know from grades K through 12, we didn't learn a daggone thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what was you doing in 8th grade? It was total. Hey, professor, you remember your how many A's you got on your 6th grade report card and for what class? Hey, Moko, what curriculum you took after school? And how did that benefit you today? Okay, See what I'm saying? So it's like, at a young age, I already understood I'm not going to college because it ain't going to offer me what it is I want to do. Like I said, I've been doing music my whole life, so I already understood what I was going to do at a young age. Like, you know what I mean? Michael Jackson, Thriller age, you know what I'm saying? Type talk, you know what I'm saying? Not out the womb, B. You know what I mean? But you look at these musicians nowadays, a lot of them are what some of us may call button presses. You know what I'm saying? The old school knackers, you know, the analog. Because the type of technology that's out now for you to produce records, anyone in here could be a producer without actually having any knowledge of doing it. So why do you need me anymore? You know what I'm saying? So, and with that being said, it's somewhat similar to what the port dock workers and the truckers are going through with these strikes. Same thing, you got fast food workers and Amazon workers striking. They're not getting paid better wages as the increase of the economy goes up. You can walk out the store now, 2-3 bags of groceries, you don't rock the $150, big. What the hell did you buy, yo? Your education don't prepare you for that. Yeah, you might tell me what it is I need to know as far as the skill set, but not even really. You know what I'm saying? Because in order to learn how to use an EQ, that might take you a decade. The right time to learn how to use compression on a beat, that might take you 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many different styles of music out here, you'll be just here forever. So I went to school actually late. I didn't go to school right away when I turned 18 because DJ was running the streets. You know what I'm saying? So from 2018 to about 23, I spent my time in the cell block. You know what I mean? So I missed a lot of opportunities. But by that time, I still decided to go to school to get my engineering degree, audio engineering. I was probably in my mid-20s or whatever, and just realized, damn, just wasted so much time. So just spending the last decade, took off in my 30s to build my own company. Because guess what? You know, jobs come a dime a dozen. If this stuff don't work out, I can always find another crappy job. If this business that I'm about to build does not work out, Kite Productions, Black State, Newstoter, Reparations Perspective, online, we can just go on and on the names. You know what I'm saying? If this distribution thing that I'm working does not work out, Brother Mokos, so the Tata, ING Clothing, you know what I'm saying? B1 Clothing, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to be distributed God, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? That still takes time. I can make some connections dealing with some SBA, Small Business Administration. So you already know I ain't got to explain it. Go get your tax ID, man. It's not a game out here. I see so many ways we could be getting money right now. Right now. They're giving it away, B. It's just that, like someone said earlier, you know, we just looking to go to school and go to work. We ain't thinking about ownership. So here's the reason for that, and I'm not trying to be long with it. Here's the reason for that. One, obviously, you already know they relegate us into certain positions, so we can just skip over that. The other thing is, well, we have this equality type thing going on and integration. We all free, right? But okay, here's the thing though. No one's stopping you from learning how to do business or opening your own business. Yeah, go do that. But what they're not going to do, the white supremacists, is actually help you, take the necessary steps to do all this stuff. So when I was originally looking for the EDC in my neighborhood, Economic Development Corporation, they are a branch arm to the SBA. It doesn't exist in North. You know what I'm saying? The one that may exist in the hood, your hood, you know what I mean? It still may be an EDC, but they'll call it an Economic something else corporation, where it's just job training at your local social services, SNAP benefit, offer, unemployment, wherever office you go to, county clinic, they have services there too, you know what I'm saying? Whatever other little type organizations that's doing services. So with that being said, you don't really have to go to school to do any of this anymore, because YouTube is really the new school. So now all you have to really go do is get your tax ID. There's two types of tax IDs: a TIN, tax identification number, TIN, tax identification number, and an EIN, employer identification number. You want the EIN because I can hire everyone in here. But like we said last night in your space total and in the late night space, y'all might want to go listen to that because that was crazy. That's stuff they're going to be speaking about in history books. At the end of the day, does that even, to get your EIN, because I can employ all of y'all. So that's what you really want to do. Go get your EIN. You don't have to really worry about what it is you're going to sell, how you're going to be doing business. You're really just going to be doing a lot of drop shipping for those that don't even want to start the business, but still go get your tax ID because you can't play the game. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing the game when it comes to education, business, none of this stuff, yo. And I'm a late ass bloomer, so I'm not throwing rocks at the glass house under any circumstances. But the other reason why a lot of black kids, in my opinion, because I'm one of those kids that don't want to go, black males rather, that don't want to go to a HBCU or any college for that matter, because we don't care. We are already hell bent on going to school for what we want to go to school for. And I just had that conversation with a little cousin of mine. I said, cuz, you could go to like Job Corps and get the same training you're doing now and get paid to do it. Now I'm doing my thing this way, It's the same thing, I guess, but I think you're missing the point, cuz, that you could be getting paid to go to school through Job Corps. So if you do got a little youngin', little niece, little nephew out there, and they trying to do something without having to incur debt, I want everyone to go look up Job Corps. Job Corps right now. Go look it up, yo. You get paid to go to school for training.
Hey, I want to add something, DJ, real quick. Because I know we talking about, and I agree 100%. We know that you got trades that'll pay just as well, if not better, than a lot of these actual degrees, and you will incur less debt as well too. But let's say let's also think that we talk about the shortage of doctors we have in the black community. We talk about, hey, we don't have enough doctors, and we don't have enough dentists, and we don't have enough lawyers, and we don't have enough this, and we don't have enough that. So I have no issue with getting that training, getting that trade or whatever, that skill. I have no issue whatsoever. But in the long run, if we're talking about still building a nation within the nation, so to speak, we still need people that's going to be PhDs and have full, and have bachelors and even AA degrees and all that stuff as well too. We need a mix and a match of it. Yes, we need our labor market, we need our skill market, we also need our professional market as well too. So in order for us to really get to that level that we want to do, we're going to still need to have people in certain places with certain degrees and certifications and everything else as well too, to actually help us get there.
Right. So all that requires money and time and effort and willpower. You gotta want to be a dentist. You gotta want to be a surgeon, a doctor, a eye doctor, whatever type of doctor you want to be. You gotta want to do that. I didn't want to do none of that because I already had my mind hell bent on what it was DJ wanted to do, was be a DJ. Been at this stuff since I was 12, bro. It's nothing else left for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Even when I came home from the cell block, it's like, nah, this is just what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So even though I worked, I've been working almost since I was 16. No job here, job there. I got skills, just like everyone else. I got other certificates too, not just in music. I got a degree in landscape, agriculture, horticulture. I could go for it. So when you say, hey, yeah, we need folks to do other things, I'm with you on that. But guess what? That's still something that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? But by the time school was all over and said and done with the landscaping and everything, even back then, into the early 2000s, the Mexicans controlled the landscaping around here in Jersey. And like a lot of the greenhouses, because Jersey is called the Garden State. We don't grow anything no more. That's been over with. So it's like, damn, it's like, what was the purpose? But years have gone by. Now I kind of understand. Hey, look, I got a skill on how to go for. I could go anywhere.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not in disagreement with you at all. Like I say, we need all of that. I'm just saying that too. That when we talk about the medical apartheid system in this country. We talk about the malpractice and everything else that goes, and we talk about the educational system. We talk about basically we're at the mercy of people that in a system that everybody talks about, a white supremacy. In this same system we talk about you basically being educated by people who've never had our best interest in heart. Then we go to the hospitals and we're sick and everything else. And then we have to be taken care of by these very same people as well, too. So, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. And like you say, it costs money and stuff like that. I understand. Listen, one thing we got to get in the head that college is not for everybody. College is not, some people are good for college and some people are not. College is not for everybody. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, the same way that we got a bunch of brothers in here that have trades and skills and that are making great living, better living than the average American in this country. And we commend these brothers for that. But I'm saying at the same time, do we not need our own hospitals? Do we not need our own our own schools and everything else as well too? Do we not need our own engineers? Do we not need our own, that there's so many things that we need that, I feel like we can't just totally give up on the pursuit of higher education. And like I said, that's not for everybody. Everybody, for one, you have to have the patience, for one, to actually go to college and everything else to now, as young men, sometimes it's hard for us to sit still and damn, like this is taking too long, man. I got all these electives, I got all these pre-courses I got to take, and so I just don't have the patience for this. This is not what I'm going to school for. Like, damn that. I'll come back later on and stuff. Like, I understand that, but I'm just saying, in terms of actually, like I said, if we got plumbers and we got electricians and everything else as well, like that as well too. We need we need architects. We need construction engineers. We need the whole nine as well too. If we're talking about building and trying to build our own infrastructure and everything as well in this country that we've done to certain levels before, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, townships and everything else like that, especially with the world becoming more global and the competition and everything else like that as well too. I mean, do we not feel like we still need to have? I mean, no, we feel like we still need to have, people with 4-year degrees and PhDs and masters and everything else as well too. That's the only thing I'm saying. Like, no, definitely, you definitely got to have the skill set. You definitely got to have people for trades, and that's one thing that they took it away from the black community and stuff like that. You had in high school, people were back in the day in the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. They were better equipped coming out of high school because they had trades and stuff like that. Hey, you can jump into the real world and you can start making money. Now, the only way really for when you leave high school, if you graduate, if you want to make money instantly, the number one way to make money instantly is actually go to the military, where you already have a job lined up for you. And not everybody wants to go to the military, but I mean, before people were graduating, hey, this person had mechanic level skills. This person knew how to do what is it? Brick masonry and all kind of different things as well too. You don't have that skill set anymore. So that's the only thing I'm saying. Yeah, we actually need to go ahead and get that back to that level where we do have people in school and stuff like that. Hey, before you leave out of school, Jamal, we're gonna teach you how to go ahead and we're gonna teach you how to do this and do that or whatever. Jamal gets out of school. Jamal, instead of being like the average 18-year-old working at McDonald's for $10, $11 an hour, Jamal can go in there and start making $25 an hour because he already has, and then there's some kind of apprenticeship laid out for him as well too. At the same token, Tyrone, like, hey, you know what? I do have ambitions. I do want to go to the school. I may not financially have it, at that point where I can. Let me get financial aid, or even let me go to the junior college because I want to go ahead and I want to get me a degree as well too. So I'm just saying we need to have all of that lined up as well too, I believe.
Right. So I'll be quick because I see other folks got their hands up. Those things already exist, bro. Our people already have those degrees. Doc, the lawyer, added up, can't get a job, in debt, don't know what to do. They work at McDonald's. Not job shaming, I'm just saying, because the job is a job. But at the end of the day, who's going to give those folks a job? You see that? You have to create the industry first before you can say, hey, we need who? That's the problem right there. You did not build a park or a house for folks to flood into. That's the problem right there. So Newstoter, social, we trying to build this up so folks can obviously come in, get the information. But even with that being said, hey, we need folks to engage the information. Yeah, you might see it and want to support, you sign up, whatever, even get a subscription. Is you over there reading the articles? Is y'all over here on social when Mel Cruz go live? It's not nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Everything that is done has already been done, bro, over and over again. You feel what I'm saying? So back to what I'm saying about things like Job Corps, they teach medical training in multiple fields. So why should you go to school and not get paid at the same time? Why go to college and struggle and have to work and not have money? We don't come from wealth. A lot of these white families, they send their kids to school. Asian families send their kids to school. They don't got to worry about working like that, or they're guaranteed some type of job where they can sustain themselves. We don't have the type of infrastructure to hire our kids. This is why I was always saying to you, hey, if you go to FAMU, tell them, hey, look, we got this product right here, Newstoter, we got spaces, and we just need you to go out there and just ask for donations. Don't even try to sell anything. Don't even try to sell it. Yep. You're a student, FAMU, we work for Newstoter. We know we're sponsored by Newstoter, and we're doing, what do you call it? You just said the word. Apprenticeship or whatever. Under Newstoter, journalists try to be a journalist. People will give you money for that as a student. So now we just created a curriculum, one, and a product, two, in a business to have our kids be employed while they don't have to go work at McDonald's. All off a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? You're selling paper to the public. I do it every day. So with that being said, I don't think it's really hard to actually do that. You know what I mean? I think the problem is we argue too much on how to do that when it's already right in our faces. Go get your tax ID, incorporate yourself into some type of sole proprietor LLC. It don't even matter at this point. Yeah, you can use your social security number, but that was going to cost you at the end of the day, considering the type of business you're trying to open up. And when you say folks like doctors and all this stuff again, man, I live right next to Beth Israel Hospital here in Newark. It's nothing but black doctors over there. Women and men. Go across town to University. We want to see some black folks that got a white jacket on. That they in there chilling. You know what I'm saying? Trauma unit specialist, yo. Straight up. You know what I mean? Shout out to my cousin James. Had a terrible ass accident year before. Trust me, man. Thank God for the trauma unit at University, man. Because it didn't look good. B. Should have seen the car. You know what I'm saying? Wire it up. No lie.
Let me get it back to some of the speakers. Like I say, we get some of y'all to come on up here. We want to hear what you got to say. Like I say, this is about the dwindling number of black men on these HBCU campuses. So we're talking about that, but you guys feel free to come on here and interject how you feel about the topic as well too. And there's been some great points that everybody's been making as well too. So I would like to hear a group, because we haven't had any of our sisters up here tonight as well too. So I love to hear what you guys got to say as well too. Black Pressure, go ahead and unmute your mic and I'm gonna get the Moku.
News. I think he was first, bro.
Moku was first? Okay. Moku, go ahead and unmute your mic, Moku.
Thanks, Black Pressure. Well, everything y'all said, I have to say, looking at the naked evidence, I don't think it's a need for any college. Because when the education doesn't equal up to when the input doesn't equal up to the output, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make dollars. And again, we cannot step away. Why do we need somebody with no degree? I got a girlfriend right now.
Breaking up, brother. Talk slow, I guess. Yeah, I can talk slow, I guess. You're breaking up.
Wow, that's because I'm on the road. I was trying to say.
Go ahead. We can hear you now, but go ahead while we can hear you.
Okay. So yeah, my girlfriend is a PhD. You know what I'm saying? She still gets practice racism. Do you know in a room of her colleagues, they don't even want to call her doctor? And she's a doctor. She's a PhD.
Hey, now
doctrine and all.
We got to fight. Tell doctor that not only to let us know where to fight at. You pull it off.
No, she knows. But my point is this: we're still trying to do this in a system that we know is flawed. Like we have to get out of our feelings when we talking about it and stop being fearful. We don't need no colleges. We don't need these HBCUs and WPIs ain't been doing nothing for us. And they still not doing nothing for us. And the black men that's not going there, you know why they not going there? Because they have multi-million-dollar businesses like my brother-in-law, who has the biggest daggone black moving company in the United States, Allen and Son. That's my brother-in-law. You know what I'm saying? He got black men unapologetically, black families working for him. You know what I'm saying? That he employs. This is what we need to do. This is what we teaching our sons and my nephews. We ain't teaching them to go to. You ain't got to go to no college. Look, forget Morgan State University. Forget Compton. That's a waste of time. See, we're honest with our children, and we're honest. Since he just is talking it, we're gonna show them. I'm down here.
Yep, you hit the matrix now. You there, Moku? Yeah, I think Moku. Yeah, you was in the matrix. Are you there?
But you know what? If I'm constantly showing them what work, and they constantly see Daddy down here making it happen, and Daddy done made $1 million in 2 years, and they looking like, dang, I ain't even break 100,000. What am I doing wrong? Then they gonna have to look. Look, we're gonna have to use our logic. We're counter-racist scientists. All of us are. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to see this flaw. You know what I'm saying? This educational system was not here to better the betterment of us. Not even the hospital, not even the degrees that they get degrees in, y'all. These surgeons mess up more people than they heal. And then this Western medicine is all about maintaining sickness. It's not about healing. That's why we got holistic doctors like my girlfriend, Dr. Ross, and everybody, all these other holistic doctors out here. You know what I'm saying? She don't go to you know what? I went to a VA hospital, got my girlfriend on the phone, got my labs right in her hand, and the doctor is lying to me on purpose. This is called corrective medicine. Me and DJ held a space on this 2 years ago. But people still run into the hospital. Still talking about we got to have doctors when the doctors are maintaining your sickness. Come on, man. I just say, we gotta do better. We got to do better for our children.
All right. Appreciate that, Moku. Real quick, guys. For those that can support on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. For those that don't have Cash App, we have the PayPal, Venmo up in the Jumbotron. For those that can, we still trying to get like DJ said earlier, we trying to get the sign up. We're trying to get people to go ahead and sign up and become members on the site. For as little as $1.75 a month. You can support the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform for as little as $1.75 a month. that is very cheap and affordable, guys. And same for my people on YouTube. Look at the newstoter.com customer link on the actual screen. You can go there and become a member for as little as $1.75. Set up an actual account. It takes less than a minute to go ahead and set it up, guys. So we definitely need that support. We definitely need that help. We're definitely trying to grow as well, too, guys. So support the platform because we definitely need your help. We definitely need your help. Let me go ahead and get to Black Pressure in South. I see you up here as well, too. Moku, you make some good points. I still think, though, we gotta have some people with some college degrees as well, too, in the community. I get what you're saying, and I'm not against what you're saying totally, but I do believe we do. You know, and in a global world that we live in, I think that we have to have that as well too. But let me go ahead and get to Black Pressure. Pressure, go ahead and unmute your mic.
News, why you always do them long promos before you bring me up, man? You always do that.
Hey, listen, I'm not even doing the promos like I used to do it like every 20, 30 minutes. So I got to get it in. And I got to do it. I got to get it in, man. Matter of fact, when you come up here, you can do it next time for us. Like, hey, yeah, support the Newstoter.com platform.
Yeah, I do it, man. You know, but I'm gonna have a negative agenda if I do. I'm trying to get phone though. Anyway, we move on.
Hey, we got that Black OnlyFans on social. Black OnlyFans on social. Holla.
Hey, check this out, News. You make some great points. So I got a few things. I'll start with this. My father is a hell of a mechanic, and everything that I learned, because I can to a certain point I can do a lot of stuff to my own car, you know, brakes and change out the radiators. It depends on with these new cars today, everything is a computer. I can't do a lot to them, but you know, your older cars, I can do a lot of stuff to them. But you made a great point. I remember as a kid watching my pops in the garage, you know, always working on the cars, fixing cars and stuff. He learned how to be a mechanic in high school. He took it in high school. He said in high school, they had a partnership with the local car dealer, and they gave him a car that had been wrecked, and that's what they used to teach mechanics. And he knows how to. I seen him take out engines and transmissions and replace them, and he knows all that stuff. Like I say, hell of a mechanic, and he learned it in high school. Of course, he graduated high school in the mid-70s. So that's a great point. You don't see that in schools anymore, where you give kids a leg up on life, you know, before they graduate high school. We're moving on, right? I'm gonna say this, and this probably will sound contrary to how I presented myself over the last couple of years in spaces. But News, you know, I'm as black as it gets. But I'll say this, of course, like Brother Moko was saying, if I need landscaping done, I'm gonna call a black person, or I'm gonna say I'm gonna try my best to go get a black person. If you know I need my driveway pressure washed, call a black person. If I need plumber, call a black person. Electrician, I know a few black electricians. I'm always trying to call a black person when I need roof repaired. I know black people that I'm gonna try to call I'm gonna call a black person. But like you saying, News, to your point, and I'm gonna come, off the top road. If I get in a car wreck and I crack my skull, or if I'm in the grocery store and my left heart ventricle collapses and I pass out in the store, you going to that white man's hospital. That's period, point blank. You no black person, and you could be as black as me, and I'm as black as it gets. No black person can go up to any institution or individual and say, "Hey, I taught myself heart surgery. I'm gonna do this." It's not gonna happen. You have to go to school to be able to operate on people. You have to go to school if you want to understand modern medicine. You have to. I know people are in the homeopathy. That's great. I do a little bit of that too at Whole Foods. I buy certain stuff. That's great. But like I say, if my lungs collapse or my kidney gets infected, I'm going to that white man's hospital. And when I say white man, that's in quotations. I'm going to a hospital. I'm not going to call my homeboy with a bunch of Dr. CB DVDs and say, hey man, can you come operate on my heart? That's not going to happen. I'm going to a hospital where people sit in an institution of education for 8 to 10 years and let these people consult me before, they take any actions they take after that. So that let's get that clear. That's great. Homeopathy is great. And like I say, I built myself from the mud. So I have a bunch of certifications that pay me 6 figures and all that. That's good. And I encourage anybody that can hear my voice, if your sons or daughters, if they don't want to go to college, to add on to what DJ was saying, you don't even have to go to like a school to get a cert. You can actually go to the your local union, and you can do that stuff for free. The only trade-off is you have to work for them for 2 years after you get your cert. You can get welding for free. You can be an electrician, a crane operator, a boiler maker. You could do all that stuff for free if you go to your local union. So I just want to throw that out there. There are some things in the Western world that we live in that school and institution of education is a must. And I'll mute up and listen.
All right.
Big pressure, but why do it for free though? Right? Check it out. Why do it for free when you go to school and get paid for it at the same time? That's what I'm saying. Also.
Well, no, you could do it that way. I'm saying there's not the only option, but yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I know programs that pay you to go to school.
Appreciate that, Pressure. We got a new speaker. Let me get to South. South, how you doing tonight? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace to the room, to the hosts and co-hosts. Can y'all please move me to the back of the queue? We're trying to get some food right.
All right. All right. Let me go ahead and let me get.
I worked a good 10-hour shift today, so I'm trying to get some food.
Oh, John, I take a 3-piece spicy so far.
Let me get to Professor. Professor, go ahead. And where my sisters at tonight? I see my girls Trouble and Rella down there. Ladies, y'all can come on up here tonight. We definitely last night I know y'all was getting it in or whatever, but it's a different space tonight. So feel free, sisters, to come on up here and come up tonight or whatever if y'all get a chance. I know Rella, you may be working or whatever. Trouble, you may be driving.
I'll make them come up. Hey, you want me to make them come up?
You can't make them, and you can't make them do nothing. But if they got a moment,
no part to this conversation. You're scary.
Right, Trouble don't want no parts of the conversation. Told her that's why she up here.
Trouble probably driving. Trouble probably driving right now. And she like when she get a chance, she'll probably come up here. Trouble drive. I see my girl. And I see no taxation and mail down there as well too. So definitely come on up here. My girl Stephanie. I know Stephanie working. So
being that it says, talking about black men, that's probably why the sisters are staying down there tonight. And respect to the sisters. I mean, they're not, they might want to come up.
Plus, they got that smoking the late night place too,
Can I say something to what Black Pressure said? Because like how Black Pressure said, he always plays, devil advocate, and I'm always.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I understand exactly what you're saying. You break a FEMA, you know what I'm saying, in half. You're gonna go, to that hospital, right? But when the hospital does, I'm gonna ask you a question. If you're in LA, would you go to Martin Luther King?
You know what? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because of what I heard about. Because I'm gonna say no.
Right. So that was my rebuttal to that.
Yeah, I heard people that say horrible things. I heard it wasn't even open anymore, but I heard people say horrible things about that place.
Hey, Professor, didn't you I'm sorry. Go ahead, Moku.
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm gonna land with this, but yeah, in Baltimore, that's how it is up here. Sinai, John Hopkins, two birds, two feathers, two wings of the same bird. They experimented on. Been experimenting on us way before Henrietta left, okay, and still doing it today, especially John Hopkins, especially. So when you got a whole city and you got a whole institution like John Hopkins, which just not in one place, you know what I'm saying? I was born in that hospital, and that was the last time I was ever there. I never went back, and wouldn't go back today. So when we got institutions around like that, and we know that they're set up to harm us, and knowing that if you have to go there and you stay at night, you might not come home. I have had neighbors go to Sinai for stomachache. Shout out to Amos Wilson. Shout out to Khalid Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dick Gregory. Rest in peace to all of those legends. You know what I'm saying? All of our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But these brothers went to the hospital for a stomachache and never came back home. You know, when we got track records like that, I ain't too worried that somebody working on me with a degree.
Now,
don't even really matter.
Now, Moko, let me ask you this right here, because and I know we were and that was one of the examples that Black Pressure used about the degree, but let's take, for example, the O.J. Simpson case. Now, had it not been for a Black man named Johnny Cochran, O.J. Simpson would have spent the rest of his life in prison. Of course, to get to the level that Johnny Cochran got to, you have to have a college degree. You have to have you have to pass the bar and everything else as well too. So, what do you say about that in terms of legal representation that Black people? We know how we get screwed by the criminal justice system in this country as well too. But to have somebody, not only Johnny Cochran, but to have somebody like Willie Gary here in Florida, the known as the corporate killer, got played by Jamie Foxx in the movie The Burial. Willie Gary, has sued Disney. He sued some of everybody and beat them for hundreds of millions of dollars. When this guy comes, people call him for some kind of claim or whatever, some kind of whatever. I forgot what kind of law he does again. Damn, I can't think of the name of it. But when they call Willie Gary, he rips these people apart or whatever. So I'm just saying, and I think Willie Gary may have taken night classes and stuff like that. Got him a little degree from somewhere, whatever. He didn't go to any big prestigious university, anything like that I could think of. But when it comes to these lawsuits and stuff like that, he was a monster here. So what do you say about that in terms of Black men and becoming lawyers as well too? Because you have to have a degree for that as well too.
That's a great question, by the way, Newstoter. And what I would say to that is I have a brother who's a lawyer. He's been a lawyer for about 15 years now. And even my brother, I always tell him, what you and your colleagues need is not the degrees. You need heart. You need guts. The reason why our brother Johnny Cochran is not with us today is because he was definitely going to take the United States to court for reparations, or just like he exonerated OJ and numerous others. He was murdered for it. He was murdered for actually doing the right thing with his degree. So to your question, I would say, well, yeah, I would say, yeah, that would be good. And you're right, we do need those, but they need guts with that. They need guts to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And not acquiesce to Britain. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who all the lawyers are. That's who their real boss is. You know what I'm saying? That bar exam that they gotta take. They gotta take that exam over in Britain. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it still boils down to the same thing. We cannot get away from white supremacy now. If you're talking about dismantling the system of white supremacy and then making a whole new set of values and a system of justice where we have compensatory doctors, that's doctors who do the absolute most constructive thing, and they don't manage pain. They don't manage sickness. They cure it. Okay? Now you're talking some good of white supremacy. I don't feel like it's a need to, not even under the same guise.
Appreciate that. I got to read a comment real quick that the National Reparations Commission put. It says the bar and legal degree are a money grab. There used to be a thing called reading law. We had lawyers all over the country who were good lawyers who never went to school. Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer who read law. a degree ain't necessary. Competency is necessary. And while I agree that you do, competency is necessary based off of the way things are structured now in this country, though, you're going to have a degree to become a lawyer. I could be wrong, but, I believe that you're going to actually have a degree to actually become a lawyer. So, that's the way they've changed the system. That's the way they got things structured. Let's be for real. 150 years ago, 200 years ago, I mean, these people, when they saw certain things, certain trends were happening, and it was out of their control. They said, hey, to go ahead and get control of this, to make this profitable, to make money, to go ahead and take total control of it. We need to change this law. We need to change this right here. We need to change that. And they've been doing that, so, if you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna have to get a degree from somewhere. Let me go ahead. I see Miss Rella's. Okay, South, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, and I'm gonna get to Rella.
3 minutes submission. I'll try to be brief. Appreciate the room, host. Thank you very much. There's two ways that I'm looking at this. Number one, we have to look at historically what has worked for Black America when it comes to building up Black America in the middle class. HBCUs were important for that. They have partially died off, but not fully. Number two, a lot of these blue-collar jobs are what built a lot of the middle class. And number three, a lot of service jobs. And I think you guys have touched on a lot of good points. I believe that we had a 30 to 60-year game plan. And we started with an individual game plan to teach young Black men and women, hey, you need life insurance, you need this, you need that, etc. The school system is designed, it's the school to prison pipeline, or where I had a call. But the things we need to focus on are the primary industries that we can get young Black men in, fresh out of high school, that they can make money. Plumbers, electricians. There's a lot of different fields. I posted down below the 20 biggest growing fields. There's a lot of these where you just need certifications, where you could be making at least $75,000, $80,000 a year. Some jobs are remote. So if we look at these industries that we can actually get in for a very low cost and thrive on that, we would be great. If you could spend $6,000 getting certifications within 2 years, or apprenticeship programs, some of those union jobs, that's where we made a lot of money for a lot of our people. That's why people fled to the north to get a lot of those jobs. We do need a lot of those college degrees. I graduated from Southern University in Baton Rouge. My degree's in business management. I understand a bunch of different companies and how they operate. I'm a blue-collar worker living in the gated community in New Orleans. I'm eating good. But my degree helped me out a lot. But that isn't the end-all, be-all. A lot of people think those degrees make them better than every other Black American, and it's just not true. You heard the gentleman say there's several different companies that they're owners, they're millionaires, etc., and they're employing Black people. But what we need to do is get rid of a lot of these boule gatekeepers that are not bringing back the information to our people, like Booker T. Washington said. Shout out to Black majority in the building. We have to start saying, if you got a blue-collar job, one of these Fortune 500s, and you have one of them office jobs, and you can come back to the hood or to the HBCUs or whatever, you can come back to our people and recruit and get these young people jobs. Those are the people that we need to target and protect. I'm not worried about the people that's showing off and all that other stuff. We need people that's for our people. When you get in a position that you can finally help somebody else, put your people back on. It don't cost you nothing to tell your company, hey, we need to go to this school to recruit because they got the best programs. I believe Johnny Carson, if I'm not mistaken, Johnny Cochran, I think he went to Southern University's Law Center, one of the best law schools in the country. You have Xavier University, great medical program down here in Louisiana. So I'm not saying discount all the HBCUs, but we have to start focusing on what we're good at doing when it comes to those HBCUs, utilize those programs and grow. For instance, a lot of our land-grant agricultural schools, those Black farmers need to be able to come to our schools, gain the information that they need to gain. Our political science people in those schools need to be making sure that they're teaming up with the lawyers to make sure that we have the right laws in place to protect those farmers. It needs to be a full system. I'll yield with that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm going to drop down a listener if necessary.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank you for coming on up here. We got Rella coming up here next. What's up, Rella? DJ, Professor, y'all hold it down for 1 second. Rella, are you there?
I am. I'm here. Hi, Newstoter.
Hey, what's up, Rella?
Hey,
Hey, again, we got you on a time limit now, about 3 to 5 seconds.
Oh, well, I'm not listening to you two. But I will say, shout out to the world. Hey, Brother Mo. So, I'm going to push back because I do think that our HBCUs are important. We are being pushed out of every segment in our community. Even our historical places like our HBCUs that were created for us, regardless of the funding or the money that another group came in to utilize for control to build a lot of the buildings, they have a lot of significance. We had brain doctors and attorneys and social workers and things like that who came out of the 40s and 60s who literally bridged the gap to build a lot of the things that we've done. A lot of people, even use references to scholars like, Dr. Francis Cress-Welsing and the like. They never said don't go to school to get an education so that you can articulate yourself and be well studied to help heal our community. The other thing is Johnny Cochran died from a brain tumor. He wasn't murdered. And so I think we really have to look at how we digest information, and I think how we retell it and not weaponize it against ourselves. A lot of people who do not agree with structured institutional learning, that's a preference, because you're talking about structured institutional learning and then you're talking about trades, which still is a form of institutional learning. It's just it was done through school system. They had people who they literally took what our ancestors were doing in regards to free labor, and they put it into schools to try to give out us, what we would call a secondary degree, opposed to my educational degree in structured institutional learning. So I have my structured institutional learning degree, and then I have my cosmetology degree. So I literally still had to go and study in order for me not to be practicing in either industry unlearned. And then the other piece of it, which I do agree with Mr. South, he was benefit in time. If you're going to utilize when, people back in, at the 1800s didn't have to have a degree. Well, remember, the structure of this, the society back then was different. They were not, they were not stopping other white immigrants from coming in to take over. They realized that they were being outworked because the slaves after emancipation had more quality skills that they taught one another. They were forced to learn, and then they had to actually build an entire robust economy. And then you switch to industrialization that happened. So I'm not going to ask someone who, works literally in the factories building cars to come be my doctor just because they can pick up a book to want to learn to be a doctor. There is a studying that has to go about it. That's why it's called the practice of medicine in that regard. And I do believe that holistic herbalists are free doctors that you still pay, because they're buying herbs, they're growing different things to help learn the biology of plants, because you can't just throw stuff together and give it to people, because you can really kill someone. And let's be honest, if you're not a scientist or a chemist and you're not well studied, you can harm somebody. And so I do think that there is there's an equal balance. So I would never speak against academia at all. I'm sending my kids to college because in this society we live in today, you need a degree in order to get a high-paying job until your parents are able to have a job for you. And even with that being said, you want to be able to match quality. So I don't. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to speak against it in any way at all, because a lot of our scholars were educated. They had degrees. They weren't running around saying that you don't need to go to college or you don't need to get an education of some form. My uncle would tell me all the time, get something that says you know how to do something. He was like, even if you don't want to go to college, just get something that says you know how to do something. And that stuck with me. So, shout out to you all, and shout out to those of us that are continued educational adults, or those of us who are thinking about, leveling up on your skills. Even if you're going to get with someone to learn a skill, make sure that they're offering some form of certification. That way, it proves your skill set to make you more valuable in this market. If you're going to teach others to be apprentices under you. And I landed there. Peace, love, and light, y'all.
Brother Muko, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, brother, brother made a lot of good points. And yeah, I know that he died. I know that they told us that Johnny Cochran died from a brain tumor. White supremacists have a real poor track record with reporting the truth about death. Just like Martin Luther King's death that they lied to us about until we found out the truth decades later that he was suffocated instead of he didn't die from them shots. I just can't trust the white supremacist word. I can only trust their actions. And as far as Western medicine versus holistic medicine, Rella made a really, really profound point. I mean, a herbalist that don't know what he's doing, he can definitely kill you with some natural herb. I mean, you can kill yourself with some natural herb. Definitely, if you take more than what you're supposed to take, or even mixing them the wrong way. That is absolutely 100% true. But and not even a but. To add to what Rella said, our food is our medicine. You know what I'm saying? Our medicine comes from the earth and limbs. It's even a way to heal and operate on the body, on those limbs, on those bones that's broken inside your body, not without even cutting your skin. This is things that I know now, and I've seen. And I'm sure that, for some situations, depending on our situations of where we live and what we can afford and what we can't afford, yeah, we will have to go to that hospital. I feel better going to the hospital knowing every damn thing that they're supposed to do versus going to the hospital blind, knowing their murderous track record against victims of racism, white supremacy. I mean, we got things that are going on right now in real time, like corrective medicine, where they deliberately multiply your lab numbers so that you're out of range for the most constructive health, okay? The most constructive procedure. You know what I'm saying? They have robbed us of kidneys. They have robbed us of so many organs. You know what I'm saying? That we probably never even had to get taken from our body. But just because they altered your lab result numbers just because off of the strength that you're black, nothing else. This is not said thing. This is something that they do unsaid. I mean, automatically in every hospital, no matter where you are, Virginia, Baltimore, DC, Cali, no matter where you are, they do this. And I implore everybody, you know what I'm saying? Check with a real keen eye everything that your doctor or so-called primary care physician is putting into his notes, writing down, not writing down, and ask questions about your lab result and the final number on your lab result. Well, what does this mean for my kidney? You're telling me that my cholesterol is normal? Well, I suggest that everybody get your lab results, get a holistic doctor that you trust. And I'm not asking you to trust me. Matter of fact, I'm saying don't trust me. Do it and see what you get. Okay? Get a holistic doctor that you trust. Ask them about corrective medicine. And even if they don't know, for your lab, have them on your Bluetooth when you're asking your primary care doctor, is this level okay? Is this level okay? And you'll see real time how they lie to you. Now, I'm going to land here. I just had a hospital visit, and I think I told all my brothers and sisters to hear about it because I tend to try to tell y'all about things that I do to see what kind of responses I get. I went to my primary care doctor. The care doctor just retired on me. Didn't even no warning or nothing. Just left me in limbo. So it was 6 months or 6 to 8 months before I even got another primary care doctor. Now, went to this primary care doctor. They asked for my lab. They don't know that my girlfriend is a PhD. I text her my lab. She's looking at my lab and said, "Oh man, your cholesterol levels are really, really down. They're really down. Your magnesium is down." She's asking me. All right, ask her because I told my girlfriend, "Look, I don't trust the doctor." And she was just like a lot of people in the who trust in doctors and Western medicine. Even though she's a holistic doctor, she said, "Babe, I don't think that they're deliberately lying. I just don't believe that. I don't believe a person would actually do that." She's a kind-hearted Southern belle. You know what I'm saying? So, to get to the landing, she told me what was wrong. I asked the doctor, I said, "Well, doctor, my primary care doctor, supposedly, how is my cholesterol level?" Oh, that's normal. It's fine. I'm like, she like, "Oh, she is lying. I cannot believe she's looking at this." Asked her the dog to you. I said, "Can you read that result off to me?" And she said she read the correct number that was on the paper, the same paper that I just screenshotted to my girlfriend. My girlfriend told me your levels are not normal. That your levels are drastically low. Asked her about your magnesium level. Asked her, "Well, how's my magnesium?" Because I was a little bothered by that. I thought that was kind of off. She said, "Oh no, your magnesium level is fine." So I'm like, okay, well, why is this lady lying to me? I don't know this lady. She doesn't know me. I told you I just got my original primary care doctor, whom I had for like 3 years. He just retired and said nothing. So to me, I'm just saying double check everything because to all of my research that I've done and still doing today, I'm getting results that's showing that they lying. They do a lot of lying and they do a lot of corrective medicine. And that's directly dealing with your vital organs, your kidneys, your liver, your heart. Okay? They'll tell you that, "Oh, your kidneys are bad. You got to get them removed just so you won't have no kidneys." They have done that to my care unit members. Nope. Ma'am. And just because they're not listening and understanding that, look, they're human beings, but they're doing something on purpose. You know, look, it costs. And, don't be so quick to give your life to white supremacy in any kind of way, any of y'all. So I'm just telling y'all about my experience so that y'all can be aware. And, hey, you may find out something that was being done to you that you didn't know. I just hope that you find out early enough to stop it, like I did. But I'll land there. Thanks for letting me speak, y'all. I know it was a little bit long-winded.
All right. What's up? I'm back. I was listening to you speak. I was listening to you cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Rella go ahead and say something, and we're gonna go ahead and close this thing out for tonight. So Rella, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Munko is right in regards to asking questions. But again, it just goes back to, if you have people in medicine, like I have family members in medicine. So when my mom passed, and I had my call up to the hospital, and she knew the particular language to talk to the doctors, what to say, and stuff like that. So it helps to have, a team of people. And then also you have to remember, if we don't have people that go to school to get a degree in medicine, we won't be able to build our own hospitals. You won't be able to have the care you need from the people you want. And I think, Munko, I heard you say Western medicine. Well, we are in the West. We're not in another country. And so people come here to be seen when they want to go to the best hospitals for cure or for treatment. So I think the issues that we're seeing in our communities is that we don't have a large enough people to outnumber other people that don't look like us, that would practice, that would keep quality health care from getting to us and healing us. And let's be honest, even if you're doing holistic medicine, again, it takes the body 11 months to heal itself. So if you were ever to try to detox, you cannot detox for 30 days and think that's going to heal your body. It's 11 months. So at the end of the day, I understand that there is always going to be a target against us, but we're not in any other country. We're here in the United States because we are the descendants of this country. So if medicine or any other industry, doesn't even have to be medicine, it could be the auto industry where there's I think I want to say it's Ford, Ford company, a new owner took over and literally got rid of an entire work factory full of Black people. And we don't own that to keep those people employed. So to me, there is always going to have to be some level of learning, some level of education, whether you're an apprentice or not, or you become a PhD or a professor in some area. You want to be in those positions so that you can be the one teaching our people. And I just don't think demonizing and calling everything white supremacy is needed, because we need our people in those fields. We need our folks in areas where we question other groups who have been able to practice medicine on us and use us as guinea pigs. I think if I have to do one of those survey studies, I would want to do it for Dr. Hadid, who Khadija Hadid, I think that's how you say her name. Might be messing it up, but she's the Opal. She has the Opal Foundation that created the laser the laser cancer treatment. She should be big as day, and she wants to be able to hire other Black Americans to be in her staff to create her own, cancer treatment center. So something like that we should be supporting. I think we have to really be objective when you're talking about education, because I'm not going to nobody's house to take healing treatments, or if I have a wound, for them to heal it if it's something serious, right? I need a sterile place. Like knowledge of what needs to be done when you're talking about people who might need dialysis, or how to get them off or keep them from losing their kidneys. I think it's warranted for us to have people who's knowledgeable, I think, in both herbalistic healing and as well as institutionalized, structured practice medicine, because that's what it's called. It's the practice of medicine with a degree, meaning you have studied long. You didn't just pick up some plants outside and say, I'm going to heal you. So it's a like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I do agree that you definitely got to ask questions. I always ask questions when it comes to having doctors, and I always look for doctors too that look like me. And then I talk to them. Now I've learned I need to talk to them if they look like me and they're from another country, what their belief system is of Black Americans, because that's another, I think, another flag for me to see if they are going to actually care for me or whatever is going on. So I don't know, but having a degree is not bad. Having certifications is not bad. I think having getting a trade, getting your license in something, being an electrician, a mechanic, brick masonry, all of those things, I believe that we should have those skills and be implementing them. We should be contractors and building communities and owning those jobs. And that sort of thing. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you, Newstoter. This has been a great space, and yes, Black men definitely they're endangered of being pushed out in every industry, and we can't let that happen. So,
no. Thank you, Miss Rella. I was hoping to hear from my girl Trouble tonight, but I guess Trouble says she's chilling tonight. Moku, you want to say something real quick? I see you got your hand up before we get ready to close it out.
Oh, yeah. I just said, I think I just want to get to the title, too. I agree with Rella, what she said to the title, and for, 100%. And, you said something interesting, Rella, and I'm glad you said it. Every medical facility you see, it's a practice. A practice with a degree, you're still practicing. You're not a professional in anything. You're practicing. So, words are very important. I don't think I know of any medical hospital present day that is into curing anything. I know that Dr. Scott Whitaker, who is still alive with us today, went down to the CDC back in 1996 with and this was before they murdered Dr. Davis. And he went with a cure for cancer. You know what they did to him? Security escorted him out. We're not interested in no cure for cancer. See, when you got a medical field or so-called practicing profession, and which I refer to as Western medicine. I know we're in the West, but I'm saying I refer to it as Western medicine as all of the medicine being artificial. Like you got real cancer curing medicine that grows on the grass. It's called mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? But they have synthetic medicine that they make that's still pharmaceuticals do. You know what I'm saying? That's not made to cure you. None of their medicine is made to cure you. That practicing. So now I have to ask the question of, well, what are you practicing for? If you already have the answers here, what are you practicing for? So thank you for all those points you made. They were real valid. And, look, we had a space here. Like ourselves to just think. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everything you said and everything Black Precious and everybody else. This was a very informative space, and I do agree with brother.
the black man is becoming extinct. I would say the black care unit on a whole is becoming extinct. Not just the black man. They murdering women and children too. Ain't just us. So I land there. Thanks for letting me speak.
All right. Thank you, Moku. And I guess on that note, DJ, Professor, y'all want to say something before we go ahead and close this thing out? Or y'all good?
Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick. I do think we need the professional degree still, because one, total, like you said about Johnny Cochran, we need people that's gonna be in there fighting for our civil rights. See, we need us another Johnny Cochran, but hell, we need about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Johnny Cochrans to fight for our civil rights. Because as we see in these videos, we're constantly being violated, right? Okay, and then also in the practice of medicine, as Brother Ruko said, because that's what it is, because they're not trying to cure us. We know that. They're definitely not trying to cure you, because everything in America is what? Corporation, including your medicine. All of it is owned by corporations. So therefore, you will never get healed. You'll never get cured. So that's why they call it practice. Yeah, we practicing on you. That damn near go ahead and just kill you. Especially if you're Black American. That's really what we want to do. To get you guys out the way. But nevertheless, we do need people that look like us and who are us to, well, be in that medical field, so we can get help from people that look like us and that we can relate to. So we need it from that standpoint. But we do know that in this system, if they're going to be a doctor in this system, they're going to have to stay away from the corporate side of it, because they will become a part of the problem. So I'm talking about a Black American doctor will have to do what they can to stay away from the corporate side of the medical practicing field. Is that really possible? I don't know. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to DJ.
Yeah, I'll just say this. So, again, you don't need to go to college. You really never did, because everything that has ever been created that's a modern day invention in this world, it was created on the strength of trial and error, man. See that? The cotton gin was created on the strength of trial and error. Sick of picking this damn cotton. Stupid old slave masters. I'm gonna kill that. I don't say. Keep it real. I gotta find an easier way to get this done. Think about it, man. You know what I mean? Stupid cracker knackers couldn't send no man to the moon. Took a Black woman's brain, to 3 of them, to put a mathematical equation together to send a man to the moon, right? You know what I mean? These cell phones and devices we talking on, shout out to the Black man. Yeah, y'all playing 2K25? Think a Black man. Real game system. Yo. You feel me? Hey, back to the sisters, yo. Sister fitted the mop bucket in the mop ringer. Who the hell want to wring out a mop with your hand? Ew, man. Like what the hell? It takes trial and error and strife to do something like that. You know what I mean? So ain't nothing new under the sun. So just right here, again, if you got a youngin that's between 16 and like 24, I think, they can go to job corps and get a trade, live on like a campus, and they could go anywhere within the United States as long as they got a bedroom. So just some of the things they got here: advanced manufacturing, welding, which with advanced manufacturing, and the jobs or careers or skills that fall under that is welding, machining, and manufacturing technology. Machining is like the new thing, because everybody got these little portable machines, CNC machines, that you could just have in your garage and making your own things, yeah, real talk. So you can start your own business, learning how to be a machinist. Automotive and machine repair. This was, y'all was talking about your family using them on. They got collision repair, refinish, heavy construction equipment, mechanic, and machine equipment repair. You can work anywhere doing that. Construction, carpentry, bricklaying, and electrical. And whoever, I think that was Black Pressure that rung up the electric, that his boy was an electrician. That's a master. The only way you become a master electrician or a master of anything if you have a DC certification. Yo. I learned that from my cousin, who is a master SEAL a master electrical sale. So that means he could come to Texas and take your boy job. Real stat, you know what I'm saying? So they could tell your boy that, you know what I'm saying, to go come to DC and get his master's for real, you know what I mean? Under the federal system, so that way he could get that federal contract and do jobs like that. So finance and business, what is that? Accounting, insurance, and financial services and office administration. Like you said, we need people to push some papers. There you go. Healthcare, certified nurse assistant, dental assistant, pharmacy technician. Those will always be in demand criteria. You can get paid to go to school to do this stuff. You don't need to go to college. Homeland security, corrections officer, security, and protective services. Shout out to Sister Online. I wouldn't suggest that, but you know, because she's suing the state of New Jersey. That's a whole other story. You know what I mean? Hospitality. Come on, this is the entertainment industry. Culinary arts, hotel and lodging, and retail sales. Shout out to her secret sister. Make sure y'all go follow JM Luxury Travels if y'all need that ticket out of town, or you just going wherever you're going. Here you go, right here. This is where the real money at. It's the AI technology, information technology. We're in the information and the technology age. Computer technician, network cable installation, and computer network in Cisco. You can get most of them things free also as well, straight from Microsoft, straight from Cisco. Like I said, like an apprenticeship, you can get your certification straight from them. You can even get certifications from Amazon and Google straight up for free. You just got to go up there and start learning this stuff. Right here, renewable resources and energy. Landscaping, well, I'm already up on that one. Forestry conservation and firefighting and wastewater management, which I almost had a job doing that with this company, and I'm actually living around right up the street from me. But they chose somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Was what it was. But I could have had a job doing that. And this, I had no skills in it. They was taking people off the street, you know what I'm saying? And I think the starting pay was like, it was like 35, 40 a year, you know? No lie. So it was what it was, you know what I mean? So those jobs already exist, bro. Those industries already exist. You could damn near learn it for free, get paid to do it because you be at Job Corps, you know what I'm saying? Which is sponsored by the government at this point, you know what I'm saying? And I'll give a shout out to Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs, because he do the same thing. He got like his own school where he do somewhat similar training, and he try to do it for free to get men and women free apprenticeships and training and skills in the skills trade, straight up, mainly in construction, because that's like I think his thing or whatever, you know what I mean? But he got other things that are similar to what I just named. So if you got a little niece and nephew or a little son, daughter, whatever, that's between 16 and 24, don't know what they want to do with their life, tell them to come look at Job Corps. It's right here, man. Don't miss that opportunity, man. Hey, Stephanie, we in a late night, boo. Come on over, come on, man.
Late night space, folks. Late night space.
I'll let Stephanie get it.
All your talking points over to the late night space, and your cousin too. By the way.
I'll let Stephanie be the last speaker before we go ahead and close it out. Stephanie, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself? I got a free minute, so. I just found out that to install solar panels, they're giving free training. So if you know anybody that's willing to or interested in doing installation with solar panels, please let your nephew, your brother, your son, anybody know. Even if it's daughters or nieces, you know, just let people know so that way they can make some really good cash. I just wanted to say that with the HBCUs, I still think that we need on both sides. We definitely need civil workers, and we also need professionals with degrees. And I say that because we're being pushed out, and you know, they're hiring less and less of us on these jobs. So we have to, in order for us to keep building and growing in numbers as far as work is concerned and getting education, we definitely need, not, you know, forcing them to do what they don't want to do, but at least encouraging them. You know, we definitely need more Black doctors. That's a definite. And I want to say we definitely need them from the lineage. You know, a lot of other people don't make any claims about want doctors from their culture, while we don't request the same thing. And my thing that I want to say about some of these HBCUs is, you know, one of the reasons why a lot of Black men are not, you know, can't afford to go to some of these colleges. my thing is, why don't they have a program besides a scholarship to just give these guys, these young men, these, young women or whatever, well, basically men, give them free room and board if they cannot afford to go to college. And, we're doing it for the Ukrainians. Hampton University gave free scholarships, room and board, and food and everything to the Ukrainians. So why can't we just open up that opportunity for our people as well? Look at the statistics of HBCU in West Virginia, Bluefield University. And I keep telling people that Bluefield University is a historically Black institution, but yet the population of that college is 65% white. So we got to look into that too, because that's not talked about too much. But, that's basically it. We just need a little of both. So that way we'll be able to sustain ourselves, and we can have our buildings to build, and we can have our people to heal us. And I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
All right. Well, DJ, I think DJ said they have a space going on tonight. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close this thing.
Hey, let me just say this one last thing. So here's another
real quick, because I'm going to close this out.
Transportation, heavy trucking, heavy truck driving, seamanship, it means you out in the water, and material handling and distribution operations. This is on the Job Corps website. There you go.
All right, guys. And on that note, we're going to close this out. DJ, you said you got a space getting ready to pop up?
Yeah. We're going to get it. Let's go. I ain't going to be a bit too long because I was over with y'all all night long last night. So come on.
Yeah, I heard y'all was wilding in another space. So too bad I missed that one. But yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to be a lot more late.
That's why Trouble don't want to come up here.
I'm sure they're gonna be laid back tonight. So
I ain't even want to come up here. She was so scared.
well, let me go ahead. I'm gonna close this one out here so y'all can go ahead and get started on that. So we will see you guys. We should be holding the space tomorrow night as well too. So shout out to everybody in the space, guys. What's tomorrow? Wednesday, right? Yeah,
tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. Okay. All righty. So we're going to go ahead and close this thing out, and we're going to holler at y'all, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Peace.